town and finds a motherlode of talent. It's time to get all hot and cheesy in the kitchen. Designer Rohit Bal turns peace into high fashion. We see what made the ladies turn on Ricky Bal, and Ranveer and Anushka mix up some naughty chemistry. All in the next edition of the EM Generation Next special series.
Hi, welcome back everybody. This is an extended edition of Morning Live going all the way until 9 o'clock. We'll stay with the TNA breakfast until about 10 to 9 and then we'll cross back to Vuyo, who is at Gallagher Estate for the final day of the ANC policy conference, and we'll just get a final word from him and Gwedi Mantashe, who is standing by. But a couple of questions coming through from the viewers here for the Minister, Peter. If you've got a pen with you, just to jot them down. I'll give you two because I know that give you more than that at this stage of the game. This question coming in from a gentleman named Tumisho Komani asking, Minister, don't you think the DTI portfolio is too broad? And to be effective, we need a separate minister to focus on SMEs only. All right, there's your first question. And the second question comes from Jacques Cupido asking, when will a mine state, well, obviously what he's trying to say is, when is there going to be a state mining company established? That's another question from Jacques Cupido. Right, let's go back to you in Sandton.
Can you repeat that second question, please?
Peter, the question that Jacques is asking, when will a state mining company be established? When will a state mining company be established?
Okay, all right, fantastic. Thank you very much. That was Leanne. Do you want to step away? Thanks, my friend. There we go. We get top service at any time. Coffee just now, Minister. Oh dear, live TV is amazing. Okay, all right. So we're back at Sandton now. We're just having a quick coffee break, so apologies to those of you who saw that. Minister, two questions have come through from some viewers already. And the first one, they said that the DTI portfolio perhaps is too broad and that perhaps there should be a separate minister for small and medium enterprises.
Well, I think that the establishment of the Department of Economic Development did result in the sharing of a number of functions that the DTI was formerly responsible for. I think it has therefore attempted to cater for the fact that the DTI is an extremely broad department. I mean, I often say it's responsible for everything from the World Trade Organization to the Lotteries Board and a lot in between. There's a huge diversity of activities. I think that the small enterprise development, it is shared across a number of different portfolios. In fact, the finance part of it is under the Department of Economic Development, and they are responsible for the merger of three entities, former Kula, the former IDC Small Enterprise Book, and the smaller SAMAF, South African Microfinance Apex Fund. And those are now merged into something called SEFA, which is the Small Enterprise Fund. I think that that is an example of trying to consolidate and also try to share some of the responsibilities across the board. Provinces and local government are also responsible. There's a consolidation that needs to be achieved there. I think that we could conceive of many and combinations of government portfolios, but I think the most important task actually is to try to consolidate our small enterprise efforts across the board, across the spheres of government. And I said already, we were trying as the DTI, the responsibility we have in the DTI, to try to focus on those parts of the small business activity which we have thought have yielded the best results, and those are at the moment these are the programs which are involved in training and skills upgrading. These are the incubation programs.
All right. And the second question is, when will we see a state mining company?
Well, that doesn't fall under us. That falls under the Department of Mineral Resources. But the decision has already been taken.
All right.
I can't give you details of the actual establishment or appointments at this point in time, but the decision to appoint to establish a state-owned mining company has already been taken.
Do you know what it might entail, that state mining company?
Well, I think those are details we'll have to see as the entity begins to emerge. But I think there is an idea that we do need active involvement of the state in the mining sector. I think also just to mention as well that the document, which is called SIMS, is talking about the very great importance of beneficiation and using the existing rights which the state has over the mineral resources, which are the asset of the people of the country as a whole. We need to use that to support and enhance minerals beneficiation in this country. And I think that one example of a project which has already been supported by the National Empowerment Fund as well as by the IDC, but which is not involved in any policy intervention, just tells us the story. And this is a project which will turn mineral sands into products like titanium alloy and zirconium and things of that sort. And the difference in the price we get for mineral sands is $400 and something a ton for the mineral sands exported unprocessed, and for titanium alloy, which obviously would use several tons of sand, but we would get over $100,000 a ton and several thousand jobs. I think that tells us it's jobs and it's resources which are going to other economies, which we can certainly bring into our own economy. So beneficiation is important, as is making sure that there is a sufficient beneficial price advantage for manufacturing from the use and availability of mineral products in South Africa. We've got to build a new competitive advantage around that. I think those are two very important elements that are squarely in the realm of industrial policy.
Okay, well, let's go straight to our tables then. Table 16. Ms. Makwetla. Okay.
Good morning, Minister. My name is Angie Makwetla, and I serve on the board of the NEF. My question is, when will we reach a stage where we call on volunteers to mentor start-up SMMEs in order to do skills transfer? Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you might take several questions. No. Let me just say that it would be nice if people volunteered, and I think that we need to encourage that spirit wherever we can find it. But I think that what I was saying earlier on about the way we're trying to tweak BE, the way we engage in some of the social dialogue in the framework of the new growth path, is to try to seek commitments to become more involved in these kinds of activities. We'll tell people you can earn points. This is where we want you to earn points. In the realm of the new growth path, there is a discussion about enterprise development. We have not yet signed an accord on that, but that's exactly what we'll be seeking, is commitments from social partners to become more active and involved in this area, because I think that it's exactly what you say. But I think the mentoring is not just startups. The mentoring is also small businesses that are evolving along the path of their evolution as well. But clearly mentoring, supplier development, skills development, support programs, formal and informal training, all of this I think is very, very fundamental and is insufficiently present in our small business support programs at this point.
Okay, table number 12, Alan Needham.
Minister, my name is Alan Needham from Solar Shade. My question involves the SMEs, the small businesses. How do they preserve their capital in order to meet? They need to preserve their capital in order to meet, and to do that, they need to immediately start trading. How do we cut down the red tape, the amount of time from the time that they come up with the idea to when they can stop operating, from official documentation, getting bank accounts, etc.?
Well, I think that we're addressing quite a number of aspects of red tape. I think that we need to distinguish between red tape and regulation. It's not the same. I think red tape is unnecessary duplication, unnecessary processes and procedures. What we have done, for example, as I mentioned at the outset, is the new company was an attempt to make it significantly easier and cheaper to start up a company. You don't even have to register a name. You can just start trading off a number. You don't need to have a memorandum or articles of association. You can have a simple document which can be filled in online. That's where we want to move in that regard. Another thing about the capital is that SMMEs frequently complain about payment. And the 30-day payment has now been entrenched as a rule, and that's a directive which has gone out through the Treasury to all government departments. And if governments, departments and entities are not paying within 30 days, that can be the subject of audit observations. But also, we have, through the Small Enterprise Development Agency, we've established a hotline, which is a phone number which can be phoned by SMMEs that has an issue. And we have actually facilitated a number of payments. I haven't got the figure in front of me right now, but it is hundreds of millions of rands of settlements which has been facilitated through our hotline. And I think that we are trying to therefore address that particular aspect, which I think we know is a particular concern of small business.
All right, table number 16 again, Slawusi Mugan.
Good morning, Minister. My question is, I'm Slawusi Mohami from the Leading Ladies of Africa. My question is, do you have a framework in place where we can engage with your DFIs, your executives and yourselves? Thank you.
Well, we do. We have a website, and I think you can see access to many of our programs. I have a little booklet here. Is an indication of all the incentives which the DTI provides. I think that booklet could be made available more widely. People can see what programs we have, what support services we offer. But I think probably the most accessible route is if people went through to our website, which is www.thedti.gov.za. That website, I think, will give people a reasonable route through our policies, our frameworks, as well as the support services that we provide.
All right, table number 6, Tony Ralston.
Good morning, Minister. My name is Tony Ralston from Ariston International in Hong Kong, and we're a manufacturing company with facilities in China, manufacturing a DIY stone product. Can you please describe what your department is doing for foreign plastic manufacturing companies such as ourselves to establish production facilities here in South Africa? Thank you.
Well, we have a division which is called Trade and Investment South Africa. That's one of the divisions of the Department of Trade and Industry that works around investment promotion, but also provides services to investors to show them the environment, help them through any regulatory matters that may arise, and so on. We also offer a series of incentive programs. They start with the tax incentive, so-called 12I tax incentive, where we offer a discount from your taxable income, which is basically higher in the case of greenfields and brownfields investment, which is also somewhat higher in the case of investments which go to industrial development zones or in the future special economic zones, and which also, if you engage actively in training, that facility is in place. We also offer a range of additional facilities to support particular manufacturing enterprises, and I have already referred to the website and the booklet, but we are prepared to work with significant investors to help them through this menu of services we provide and see what works for a particular investor. So we do have a focused a one-stop shop for foreign investors as well as domestic investors. It's called Trade and Investment South Africa, one of our divisions.
Minister, just to follow up on that, perhaps help me, because I sometimes get mixed signals. You're encouraging and trying to get FDI into the country, but at the same time, you were quite strong about trying to stop Walmart coming into the country, and also that stopped KT investing in Telkom.
Well, let me just say we are seeking foreign investment, particularly in productive activities. We are working energetically. We have, I think, I was mentioning earlier on, we are seeing a growing interest around the world. And I think that many companies around the world, from wherever they come, are seeing the African continent and South Africa as one of their very important focus areas as we lie ahead. The Walmart case was not to prevent Walmart from entering, but to set the terms for the entry of the largest retailer in the world. I think we have a process which I think is a very, very important, very well considered process which is underway through the order of the Competition Appeal Court. 3 experts were appointed, one by government, one by Labour, and one by the merging parties. And it has come up with, well, there's 2 reports, of suggestions as to how the entry of Walmart can come in place in such a way that it supports the development of local suppliers and not the displacement of local suppliers by imports. And I think that the court will apply its mind. We will be making submissions as government in that process. The court will apply its mind, and it will set the terms in accordance with the competition law, which does allow for public interest and employment considerations to be borne in mind. The Walmart case was transaction specific. It is not a general statement. In fact, Massmart was foreign owned, any case, before Walmart came in. It was a question of a merger between 2 foreign entities which had implications across the South African economy, and I think the issue at stake was the terms on which that merger would take place, not whether foreign investors would be allowed in the country.
KT, that was slightly different, wasn't it?
Well, that also is transaction specific. That was a decision which was largely driven by my colleagues in the communication sector, not by us necessarily. But it doesn't mean that because you are supporting foreign investors that every transaction involving a foreign investor is necessarily beneficial. It has to be shaped, and we have to see what are the particular issues about any particular transaction. I think that's the approach. But definitely, as a country, we are open to foreign investment. We are supporting foreign investment. We are supporting, in particular, foreign investors coming in to our productive sectors, and we actively encourage many of them to do so. And I think we've seen a very positive response in that regard.
All right. Okay. Table number 7. Where are we? Table number 7. Yep. Okay. If you could stand up, say your name.
Good day, Minister. My name is Zweli Banzis. I'm the VC fund manager at the National Empowerment Fund. My question relates around, we've heard the Minister talk a lot about local manufacturing, and we've seen an increase in the momentum to industrialization in South Africa. And the question is, what role does the Minister see for BEE, particularly the development of black industrialists?
Well, I think the last part of the question is exactly where we want to focus much of our attention, is the emergence of black industrialists. And I think the President has talked about this. Of course, we have some, but we have insufficient black industrialists. And I think that we are looking to try to use the refinements that we want to make to BEE codes, legislation, and also other mechanisms already referred to try to encourage the emergence of real black industrialists really involved and with real skills and capacities in the productive economy. That's where we want to place our emphasis, and we think that is the way forward. Of course, black people need to be more involved actively in big companies as well, not just passive shareholders, as I've already said, but active members of those companies. And I think that's where we're trying to place our emphasis in the refinements we're seeking.
All right, table number 3. Let's go to table number 3. If you could stand up, say your name, and ask your question.
Hi, good morning, Minister. My name is Jürgen Stragier. I am representing Group 5 Manufacturing, specifically Everite. I think to a large extent you have answered the questions that I've posed already, but specifically with regards to the MCEP, I think it's a huge improvement on the prior programs. Supports local investment in our own companies. In terms of international investment in existing South African companies, are there further programs that you envisage?
Well, I think that our approach to what is a local manufacturer is that it's not the ownership of the company as such, it's your presence in the economy as a manufacturer. So we do provide national treatment for foreign investors. So you come into South Africa, you're a manufacturer here, you are regarded as a local manufacturer. With also eligibility for a number of those programs. They're not excluded from applying for those programs. I did say that the program we offer for new investments, the main one is the tax incentives, the so-called 12I tax incentives. But there are other sector-specific programs. The automotive production development program, the programs in the clothing sector, and then the manufacturing competitiveness enhancement program is essentially covering the remainder of the manufacturing economy.
Okay, all right, we're going to pause for thought. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll start to explore some more, get questions from the viewers at home, as well as the audience here. And I'd like to perhaps also chat a little bit more about this global trade and inter-Africa trade and these regional bodies that you were talking about as well. So all of that still to come right here at this special briefing with Minister Rob Davis. Join us after this.
Today on the Buy Smart list, new Albany Ultima. Albany Ultima's 3 delicious variants are the ultimate way to enjoy a balanced lifestyle. Multigrain browns, 4 whole grains and pumpkin seeds are high in fiber to aid digestion. Seeded brown contains energizing sunflower, sesame and linseeds, while rooibos and rye is high in the antioxidant vitamin E. Try new Albany Ultima, where great taste meets a balanced lifestyle. New Albany Ultima. If it's on our list, make sure it's on yours.
Hello, I'm Edna Mulewa, Minister of Water and Environmental Affairs. Each year, National Water Week is a reminder to each and every one of us about the importance of conserving water. Water is the lifeblood of our nation. That's why government is committed to providing all South Africans with access to clean water. Water feeds us, sustains us, and nurtures us. But South Africa is a water-scarce country. Our water resources are threatened by pollution in dams and in rivers.